And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
Hello, I'm National Weather Service meteorologist Peter Chan with your Alaska Aviation Weather Outlook on this Sunday, August 11th, and this outlook will be for Monday and Tuesday. And as we kind of summarize what's happened as of this Sunday, low pressure is pushing up to the west side of the Alaska Range near McCarthy. That feature is weakening. We've had a front work its way across the central Gulf Coast. It'll continue to do so into early Monday morning, spreading some areas of rain and rain showers into the northern central panhandle. Back to the west, there's a secondary impulse of energy, a surface low, but more of the energy is in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. It's going to quickly scoot across the southwest interior late this Sunday night through Monday morning, and then across south central Monday afternoon with some additional showers or areas of lighter rain than what we've seen. Monday morning, though, we do expect IFR conditions along and just off of the Chukchi Sea coastline through the Bering Strait, and then into areas of the southwest, the YK deltas, and back out into the lower Bering Sea through St. Paul. And for Monday afternoon, as that system quickly moves its way eastward, there'll be an area of showers and lower ceilings. As this quickly works its way eastward, that energy will have a tendency to dissipate. Showers, too, over the panhandle becoming lighter, more scattered Monday afternoon into Monday evening. We still have IFR conditions out off of the northwest coast and then out over the Bering Sea. And for Tuesday morning, we find IFR conditions increase out across the Gulf, especially out over the Gulf along the coastline into the open waters, and then back to the west. IFR conditions along the northwest coast from Utqiagvik down through Point Hope and then through the Bering Strait, all across the central and eastern Aleutian up to the north side of the Alaska Peninsula. And for Tuesday afternoon, improving conditions for the interior. Largely VFR conditions will be anticipated across the mainland, a pocket of IFR northeastern Gulf Coast, and IFR across a good portion of the west coast just along the Bering coastline and extending further out to sea. But even better weather is anticipated. A brief period of ridging will provide even better weather with clearer skies and warmer temperatures in through south central here as we go through the day Wednesday. So pass conditions on Monday, Anaktuvik Pass should generally be VFR, and it's not impossible. Little bit of light snow up there this Sunday into Sunday night, nothing major. Same thing, Atigan Pass, MVFR early Monday morning becoming VFR. Could be some termination dust up there on some of the peaks, but otherwise Lake Clark and Merrill generally MVFR conditions across the western central Alaska Range through rainy and windy passes MVFR. Isabel Pass starting out MVFR becoming VFR, and Mentasta Pass we're looking for generally VFR conditions. And then across the Copper River Basin, VFR conditions at Tanita Pass. Portage Pass may become MVFR along the west entrance as well as along the east entrance come Monday afternoon. And then in the northern panhandle, generally speaking, Chilkoot and White should see MVFR conditions on Monday. So a quick check here of the freezing levels aloft. We find the highest freezing levels where ridging would be out here through central Canada, north central Canada, freezing levels above 14,000 feet in the warmer air. Back to the west, we have a broad trough of low pressure over the mainland with some areas seeing freezing levels there below 6,000 feet, between 4,000 and 6,000 feet across the central northern mainland. And if we look at the potential for icing, there are some areas of moderate icing potentially in the northeast above 8,000 feet, perhaps central north slope toward Utqiagvik, but here around areas of the Alaska Range, also to the south toward the Talkeetna Mountains, eastern Chugach, as well as back to the west side of the Alaska Range. This is that little impulse that'll be working quickly across south central Monday morning and afternoon. There could be some moderate icing associated with the cloud cover, thicker cloud cover and precipitation there above 6,000 feet. And looking at the upper level jet stream pattern at 30,000 feet, you see the trough sitting here Monday over the mainland, and then bringing it down to 700 millibars. We find there is a a little low circulation here. That's that mid-upper level disturbance working its way quickly eastward across the Gulf Coast and areas south of the Alaska Range. A broader belt wind at mid-levels of 35 to as high as 55 knots eastern Russia through the Chukchi Sea. That's associated with a frontal system that'll be pushing eastward. And as we get down to 3,000 feet, we find some winds to 35 knots there within the entrance of Cook Inlet off of Kodiak Island. But the broadest area of winds in the 35 to locally 50 knot range extend along the northwest portion of the Bering Sea, the Kamchatka coastline, Gulf of Anadyr, eastern Russia, the Chukchi Sea up along the northwest Arctic coast, Point Hope up toward Wainwright. Winds there at 3,000 feet, 40-45 knots. So the greatest threat for turbulence on Monday will be along areas of the northwest coast, Chukchi Sea back toward eastern Russia, surface to 4,000 feet. And then we'll find areas of moderate turbulence with that secondary disturbance that'll be racing eastward across southern parts of the state Monday morning and afternoon. And the best chance for moderate turbulence will be across Bristol Bay Inland, Lake Iliamna, the Alaska Peninsula, including Kodiak Island. Some moderate turbulence, surface to 5,000 feet.